Is your morning coffee slowly killing you? That might sound like an exaggeration, but more and more studies suggest it's not about whether you drink coffee, it's about how, when, and how much you drink, because your daily cup of joe can either be a health boost or a silent threat. Let's start with the timing. Most people roll out of bed and grab a coffee first thing, but research shows that drinking coffee early in the morning, specifically between 4 a.m. and noon, is actually the safest window. A large study involving over 40,000 adults found that people who stuck to morning-only coffee had a 16% lower risk of death from any cause, and a 31% lower risk of heart disease, compared to those who drank it throughout the day. That's huge, but for those who sipped coffee into the afternoon or evening, that benefit disappeared. In fact, drinking caffeine later in the day can disrupt your sleep patterns, spike your stress hormones, and mess with your body's natural rhythm. If you've ever found yourself tossing and turning at night after an afternoon espresso, you already know this. Now let's talk about what's in your coffee. Black coffee is loaded with antioxidants and linked to a lower risk of several chronic diseases, including Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and type 2 diabetes. But here's where things go wrong. The moment you start adding sugar, flavored syrups, creamers, and whipped toppings, that's when coffee goes from beneficial to risky. Those sugary coffee drinks you grab on the go, they can contain 30 to 60 grams of sugar in one cup. That's more than a can of soda. Over time, all that added sugar can contribute to insulin resistance, weight gain, and inflammation. The same goes for heavy creamers and artificial flavorings. These ingredients may seem harmless in the moment, but they quietly chip away at your health day after day. And that brings us to caffeine, the powerful stimulant that makes coffee so addictive. In moderate doses, caffeine can improve alertness, focus, and even mood, but in excess, it becomes a problem. High caffeine intake can lead to anxiety, increased heart rate, elevated blood pressure, and even heart palpitations. And some people are especially sensitive to it. Your body's ability to process caffeine is genetic. If you're a slow metabolizer, caffeine lingers in your bloodstream much longer, which can lead to more intense side effects. That might explain why your coworker can chug coffee all day with no issues, while you get jittery after just one cup. Next, let's talk about brewing methods, because that matters too. You've probably heard of cafestol and K-oil. These are compounds found in coffee oils. And in unfiltered coffee like French press, Turkish coffee, or espresso, these oils are not removed. Studies show they can raise LDL, or bad cholesterol levels. Over time, that can increase your risk of heart disease, especially if you're drinking several unfiltered cups a day. Filtered coffee, like what you get from a drip machine or pour-over method, removes most of these harmful compounds. So yes, how you brew it makes a difference. But what if coffee is something you rely on just to feel normal? That could be a sign of caffeine dependence. When your body gets used to daily caffeine, it begins to expect it. And when you skip a cup, the withdrawal symptoms kick in: headaches, fatigue, irritability, and trouble concentrating. This cycle can make you feel like you need coffee to function, when in reality, your body is just struggling without it. So is all this doom and gloom? Not at all, because coffee, when consumed mindfully, can actually be a powerful health ally. Here's how to do it right. First, keep your coffee consumption in the morning. Avoid late-day caffeine if you want restful sleep and balanced hormones. Second, drink it filtered. Avoid unfiltered brewing methods if you're worried about cholesterol or heart health. Third, go easy on the extras. If you need sweetness, try a tiny amount of honey or plant-based milk. Skip the heavy creamers and artificial syrups. The fewer ingredients, the better. Fourth, don't drink coffee on an empty stomach. When you drink coffee first thing without food, it can spike cortisol, your body's main stress hormone, and lead to energy crashes later. Instead, pair it with protein or healthy fats to smooth out the effect. And finally, keep your intake under control. For most people, that means no more than 300 milligrams of caffeine a day. That's about 2 to 3 average cups. Going beyond that increases the risk of side effects and dependence. At the end of the day, your morning coffee isn't automatically dangerous. But depending on how you consume it, it can quietly work against your health over time. The sugar, the timing, the caffeine overload, it all adds up. And the worst part, most people never even realize it. So next time you reach for your coffee, ask yourself, is this helping me or harming me? Because a few small changes could mean the difference between a daily boost and a lifetime of subtle damage.